Patchworks, we often pick up customers who are scaling really quickly, and one of the biggest challenges that they pick up is around the technology, not surprisingly, right? So if technology has been built bespoke by an agency or by a bunch of developers, they tend to struggle to watch that scale over things like Black Friday, or to, if they have a huge amount of orders going to a warehouse, making sure they can get those orders through. So having worked with loads of fast scaling retailers, my advice to them would be to make sure you pick technology choices that give you flexibility and agility and the ability to add new technology as quickly as possible. So that's our vision at Patchworks, to make sure that those customers can bring in that technology, get it live, and then make sure that their customers get what they really, really want.
Retail fundamentally is quite simple. We buy stuff and we hope to sell it for more than we paid. But as we get bigger, and scale creates complexity, and being able to focus and prioritize time and investment in maintaining your winning formula. But that means investing in skills, data, technology, really doesn't matter, but focusing your priorities on that winning formula. But people make the difference.
One of the biggest challenges is data, using it well, getting it to talk to each other, making sure there's no silos, and that single source of the truth. So different parts of the organisation have different understanding of the data, and they're drawing different conclusions from it. But one piece of advice I'd give for a growing retailer, and we work with a lot of growing retailers who start out relatively small, the most successful retailers, what they're doing is they're making sure they've got a really solid data platform from which they can pull in data from really the best source systems, and we've worked with Retail Assist, we've worked with Merit for many, many years, and that's a great example. And it means that everybody in the organisation has that correct and single source of truth.
So if you look into the biggest challenges facing retailers that is growing as of today is to be able to create an immersive experience for the customer in store. They have invested a lot in the e-com during the latest years since the COVID, but nowadays it's all about creating that customer experience in store. If I'm going to give one piece of advice for the growing retailers, really to look into the associates, to make sure you empower them with the right tools and the right way of working with enhancing the customer experience in the store.
I think the biggest challenge that retailers face today is probably finding, training, retaining, and inspiring associates to really run their stores with the wealth of technology and the challenges in the business environment. If I were speaking to a retailer and giving them a bit of advice, I think what I would tell them is focus on your associates and remember that success happens only when you combine process, technology, and people, because it's really your associates that can make or break the engagement that you have with customers in your stores.